Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're breaking down Tadalafil. You've probably heard the name, but what's the real story behind it? How does it actually work? We're going to dive right into the clinical data to talk about the science, what it's for, and the safety info you absolutely have to know. So here's the plan. We're going to start with the basic science, like what kind of drug is this? Then we'll get into its standout feature, something you might call the 36-hour effect. From there, we'll see how that one trick in its playbook can tackle four totally different health issues. And we'll finish up with the safety stuff, which, trust me, is super important. Okay, let's jump right in. To really get what Tadalafil does, you've got to first understand let's call it the drug family it comes from. So Tadalafil is something called a PDE5 inhibitor. Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a mouthful, but what it does is actually pretty straightforward. It basically boosts a chemical in your body that tells your smooth muscles to chill out and your blood vessels to open up. The end goal? Better blood flow. Simple as that. The fancy term for this is vasodilation, and here's the best way to think about it. Imagine your blood vessels are a traffic-jammed highway. This medication is like boom. It instantly adds a couple more lanes. All that traffic, your blood, can now flow smoothly and get where it's going, no problem. Okay, so we've got this awesome blood flow boosting mechanism. But you know what makes Tadalafil really special? It's how long it lasts. This is the single biggest thing that makes it stand out from the crowd. Let's look at the clock. So you're looking at about an hour for it to start working. It really hits its stride around 75 to 90 minutes in. But here's the kicker. Look at that duration. It can keep working for up to 36 hours. Yeah, you heard that right. 36 hours. I mean, just think about that. That massive window of time is a total game changer. It allows for a kind of spontaneity you just don't get with other options. And honestly, that's often the number one reason a doctor might go with this one. Okay, so it improves blood flow and it lasts a really long time. That begs the question, right? What do doctors actually prescribe this for? And the answer is pretty cool because it's not just for one thing. You're looking at four key uses. There's pulmonary artery hypertension, which is basically high blood pressure in your lungs. Then there's the one everyone knows about, erectile dysfunction. Third, and this one's interesting, is HAPE prophylaxis. HAPE is a nasty fluid buildup in the lungs you can get at high altitudes, and this helps prevent that. And number four is benign prostatic hypertrophy. You've probably heard it called an enlarged prostate. And this is where it gets really elegant, you know? It doesn't matter if we're talking about the lungs, the prostate, or somewhere else. The fix is always the same: better blood flow through vasodilation. For example, with an enlarged prostate, relaxing those muscles helps with urinary issues. It's just a perfect example of how one single key can open a bunch of different locks in the human body. It's pretty amazing. All right, let's shift gears to what is, without a doubt, the most critical part of this explainer: the safety warnings. Look, with any medicine this powerful, you've got to understand the risks and the rules.
So the big question is, who should stay away from this stuff? And for everyone else, what are the risks you need to be aware of?
Okay, so there are some major do not take F situations, what doctors call contraindications. And the number one, top of the list, big red flag is taking it with nitrate medications, like nitroglycerin. Think about it. Both drugs open up your blood vessels. You take them together and you could see a catastrophic drop in blood pressure. It's incredibly dangerous. Also on that list are people with severe liver problems or who've recently had a stroke or a heart attack. And of course, like with any drug, there are potential side effects. You've got the more common ones, like maybe some flushing or a headache, but then there's the really serious stuff you need to watch out for, things like high blood pressure, chest pain, or even a stroke. And that right there is exactly why you only take this under a doctor's care. This is not something to mess around with. And when we talk about specific groups of people, this one is huge. The guidance is crystal clear. Women who are being treated for pulmonary arterial hypertension should avoid getting pregnant. And it's not just about the medication. The condition itself puts both the mother and baby at severe risk for things like heart failure. It's a very serious situation. So, to wrap it all up, Tadalafil is a really versatile drug, mostly because of how incredibly long it lasts. Its whole superpower comes from one simple, elegant idea: open up the highways for your blood to flow better. But with great power comes great responsibility, right? This is a medication that absolutely demands respect and requires a doctor's supervision to make sure it's being used safely and effectively.